Hey, you summoned a lesser maker. HEX28 is a miscast reskin of MEK28 by BerserkerWorks. And this is a game that I was already kind of looking forward to trying out, but I was thinking it would be really cool to make a Mordheim themed mech. And Miscast was already one step ahead of me, and he made this reskin of MEK28 called HEX28. And it's basically the same thing, but with walking houses and spell casting. And lo and behold, I already have a spider house. I made this for an Arachnarok stand-in for a goblin army. And now that Age of Sigmar has kind of petered out a little bit with the new update, I don't know whether I'll ever use it for that. So let's reuse this model for HEX28. I only have one night to get all this done for tomorrow's video, so I just need to get started.
If you're curious how to make the house, I have a back to basics video that will be linked in the cards, and I actually based that build off of this one, so you can check that out there. The only difference between that one and this one is I added spider legs to this one. So I made a base of cork and then 3D printed a bunch of spider legs. Now that we're all caught up, let's talk about the concept I have for this. I'm going to use the top portion of this Echo microphone that I got from the dollar store, and I'm going to turn this into a cauldron. I'm wanting to strap this onto the side of this build and make it look like this cauldron is turned into a magical cannon. I have these pipe cleaner trees that were just kind of extras, and I'm going to use these to kind of curl around a support structure for this cauldron. I had a really hard time getting this adhesive to stick to both of these, so I had to sand them before adhering them. So I've done this before, so I'll link it in the cards, but I was trying to make the smoking barrel of a gun, and I used this bulb to kind of make it look like a bonfire, but it just didn't work, so I swapped this out a little bit later with a tea light, and I like that one's shape much better.
I got contacted by My Mini Factory Only Games physical 3D printed crates. They have sci-fi crates and fantasy crates. He offered to send me one for free. I'm trying to figure out what to do for the wizard. I thought maybe one of these might be a good option. Comes with a 20% coupon. Paint. It's a medium. It's not a paint. Oh, okay. This is a mushroom. Okay. This guy is a naked antler dude. This is a beholder. That guy's pretty cool. This guy might be a cool statue for Mordheim, be for kitbashing. Thank you so much for sending this out. I really appreciate you guys thinking of me. If you don't have a 3D printer, this is a nice way to get some 3D prints.
Those were good options, but I was trying to go for a different vibe. I got this dwarf from Kitbash I did for Swill. I really like this guy's vibe, but he didn't really match the warband like the other miniatures. And this guy had a banner, which in the HEX28 rulebook, it mentioned that wizards would have a banner. So I'll be able to freehand some heraldry on this later. After a whole week of having a lot of artist block and not getting anything done, it was really nice to get something built and finished. So let's get painting. I started off all the base coats with army speed paints, and that worked really great on the roof, but it didn't work good at all on the foam core. It stayed really wet on the foam core, and because I was in a rush, that did not do me any favors. I had to do a lot of layering on top of this to make sure that I got the coat that I wanted, and it ended up changing my game plan a lot. A while ago, I did a video where I built a Mordheim house in a day, and I did a really fast sponging technique. I was trying to mimic a lead white paint that was chipping away from the wood, and it looked really, really good. So I tried to emulate that here, and it just didn't work because of the speed paint. I should have probably just stuck with dollar store paint because that's what I'm used to. I tried to get fancy with it, and whenever you experiment, it kind of just goes awry. It's not like a total loss or anything, but it was a little disappointing, and I ended up having to make it just like a regular Tudor house paint job, and it looked almost exactly like it did before I primed it. As I'm highlighting these shingles, I just want to remind you to like and comment the video. It makes a huge difference on how this video performs on YouTube. And if this video hasn't earned your sub, make sure you check out the backlog. I know for a fact one of those videos will. Unfortunately, I didn't get great shots of me painting the wizard, but I basically was wet blending a gradient from a teal to like a really bright green to almost a yellow. And then I painted the heraldry, and you can see those in the final shot.
Thanks so much for watching. I had such a fun time building this project. It's not that often, especially lately, that I get to kind of branch out and try something new. So it was kind of a breath of fresh air. Thank you for subscribing. We just hit 3,000 subscribers, and it's genuinely kind of amazing. And it's hard for me to kind of comprehend just that you guys are watching every week, and I really appreciate you guys. If you don't know, I have a Patreon that's $2 a month, and that's 50 cents a video, because I do a video every week. Before we end the video, I'd just like to thank the patrons. So thank you to Leroy, Fetter, Caracol, Old School FRP, Burning Heart Custom Creations, James, Anders, Hanover, Grindrunk, Treborius, Andy, Corey, Mike, Nick, The Lich's Laboratory, Cabu, The Pessimist, Seb, Lori, Nunu, Raph, Fabio Soroso, Doom, Chupacabra, Sinister Grackle, Silver Fistgen, and Seed.J, our newest patron. So thank you so much. Having money set aside for each video makes a huge difference, and it allows me to like expedite saving up for projects that are coming up. So thank you for that. It goes a long way to support the channel. All right, I think I'll stop talking. Thank you for watching and bearing with me with kind of a new project. I'm excited to see how this game develops. So have a good one.